rivers distilled that built the tanks and ships that have won our nation's wars. West Virginia powers our nation, not only with our natural resources, but also with our labor force. We have proven over and over again that the greatest strength of our economy is our workforce. Every West Virginian who goes to work deserves to come home to their family safely at night.
They have approved it. The state lawmakers have announced millions of dollars in energy assistance for the low and middle income. Many households meet eligibility requirements and are currently able to apply for this relief, but there is a deadline to apply by. Even Joe Manchin, chairman of the Senate Energy and Natural Resources Committee, announced $31 million for the low-income home energy assistance program for the state of West Virginia. The program is funded through the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and provides critical assistance to low-income Americans with energy costs that represent a disproportionate share of their household budget. But Manchin told reporters no West Virginian should have to choose between heating their homes this upcoming winter and paying for necessities like food or medicine. The funding announced today is made possible in part through the bipartisan infrastructure law. And now it will ensure the program can continue to assist the low income for the utilities and will cut the cost of living for families. The program helps the low-income households pay home heating and cooling bills, prevent energy shutoffs, restore services, and complete energy-related home repairs and weatherize homes to make them more energy efficient. Now, the funding announced today was included in the fiscal year, and now policy actions are taken during the crisis to the most equitable recovery in recent history. The changes enacted under the American Rescue Plan have helped millions of households get the right relief during the crisis, and especially those critical in economic conditions. The plan expanded the child tax credit, earned income tax credit, and child independent care credit as well. The legislation also lowered or eliminated insurance premiums for millions of lower and middle income families and offered full continuation of COVID health benefits. Unemployment benefits were also extended with a monthly supplemental benefit of $300 to the regular benefit of $400. One measure of that resiliency is the unemployment rate. It just took 29 months for the overall unemployment rate to fall to its pre-crisis level of 3.5%. During the crisis, Joe Biden has enacted the policies to support housing stability. The programs were set in place. The emergency rental assistance provided $46 billion to support the renters, and the homeowner assistance fund made $10 billion. Both programs were need-based. So many underserved communities were able to benefit from this. And according to the Eviction Lab, crisis relief policies have helped cut eviction by at least more than 0.5%. On the other hand, the Homeowner Assistance Fund program was designed to support existing homeowners to avoid delinquencies for the crisis risk of foreclosure. But home financing costs have skyrocketed over the past year. Mortgage rates have doubled a year ago, at the same time that home prices have remained strong in many markets. But for home buyers who have a good credit and can make a down payment about 10% of the home, FHA loans tend to be more expensive, but according to the administration, by lowering its annual mortgage insurance premium, it will help new homeowners all over the country achieve home ownership, which is currently the principal source of wealth for the creation of most American households. Now, let's see if this can happen if Joe Biden does that.
Deposits of the economic impact payments appeared in some bank accounts 2 weeks ago. For those in poverty, though, bank accounts are a luxury they cannot afford. And that leaves the question, how do they get their money now? Jenna Cisneros reports.
Legal Aid Line, can I help you?
When it comes to stimulus checks and those in poverty, Regina Campbell doesn't know what to tell people to expect.
Shocking news has been released, and there are several new plans put together by Republicans and the Democrats, and they're trying to get things done for the American people. Now, there has been no shortage of Republican lawmakers bickering over Social Security in recent weeks because, as Republicans and Democrats have pointed out, fingers over which party wants to fix the program and which one wants to undermine it. Well, there are several problems with this. Because during a Senate Finance Committee hearing, the Senate Republicans accused the Treasury Secretary of lying about President Biden's willingness to work with lawmakers on Social Security reform. That followed a similar exchange between Republican Mitt Romney and Shalonda Young. Now, in a separate hearing, Romney said that she was simply wrong and not honest to suggest that current members of Congress want to cut off Social Security and Medicare. With so much hostility between the political parties, it's hard to see any hope of bipartisan Social Security reform that is. The only solution with even a whiff of bipartisan support is a proposal to raise this full retirement age for Social Security beneficiaries. That proposal announced last month is being pushed by the Cassidy senators and the Louisiana Republican and also the Senator Angus King, a Maine independent who caucuses with Democrats. The two are leading a group of legislators that aim to raise the full retirement age 70 to 67. Raising the full retirement age is seen as one of the ways to lessen the impact of the coming insolvency of Social Security's old age and survivors insurance, which finances about 20 to a quarter percent of Social Security benefits. It is. The fund is expected to run out of money by the middle of the decade, meaning that Social Security will have to rely solely on payroll taxes for funding. That could be a big problem that people run into. Now, raising the full retirement age isn't a good idea for so many people too, because it does have bipartisan support among the registered voters, and though not necessarily raising all the way to age 70, a 2022 survey of more than 2,500 registered voters found that 75% of respondents favored gradually raising the age from 67 to 68, a move that would eliminate an estimated 14% of the funding shortfall. Now, support was evenly split between Republicans and Democrats, but other solutions with bipartisan support among voters include making more wages subject to the payroll tax, increasing Social Security withholding, and reducing benefits for the high earners. But for now, much of the focus is on whether to raise the full retirement age. Not everyone supports the data, because Social Security advocates and many lawmakers have pushed it back against the proposal because of the national, political, financial impact it would have on seniors who are already struggling to make ends meet. Plus, folks, I also want you to know this. The National Committee to Preserve Social Security and Medicare, which is a nonprofit advocacy group, is raising the full retirement age and cutting benefits for anybody retiring before the new full retirement age. So this means U.S. consumers struggled immensely in 2022 as inflation soared from the start of the year through the end of it. A lot of people closed out the year in debt because that's what it took to keep up with inflation. But while inflation is higher than the average, it's slowly but steadily cooling. It's not done all the way, but at least we're making some progress on this. Because while falling inflation is great news for consumers, and particularly budget-conscious retirees, it could spell trouble for the Social Security recipients. That's not something that's good. So what Joe Biden needs to do is send out stimulus payments as soon as possible.
I'm not mistaken, Stenny, to be able to work together, because we got to get it done. Plus, I hired 2 senior advisors, both of whom are pretty damn good. Mitch Landrieu, the former mayor down in Louisiana, and John Podesta, in charge of carrying out the bipartisan infrastructure law and the Inflation Reduction Act. They'll be here tomorrow. Both of them are the bulk of my cabinet members to discuss with you exactly how we're coordinating this. And it really is important how we do it. And we get it out, we get shovels in the ground, we let people know what's happening, and we change their lives. And they know it when they see it. And they'll see it and they'll know why we did it. Now, we're going to bring together every element of the federal government to invest wisely and quickly in the process. They'll attract more private sector investment as well to get the best possible results for American workers and American families.
On time, 45 million people dealing with student debt. Families can't afford child care for their kids. We have 600,000 people who are homeless in America, including people